about how to calculate the inverse Z transform. Just I want to show one thing. Okay. This graph I have added in the slide. Okay. So how to, and it will be helpful for understanding many things. Like your problem was given x of z is equal to 1 by 1 minus 1.5 z inverse plus zero point 0.5 z to the power minus 2. Okay. So ROC is mod z greater than 1. Okay. So since this represents a ROC exists in a region outside of a circle, okay, of radius 1. So that is plotted here. You can see this circle. It is one circle having radius 1, okay, and ROC is the dashed region, shaded region. It is not touching, okay, that circle. It is, since it is greater than that one. So, and we have plotted the two poles, okay, P1 and P2 exist at 0.5 and 1. Okay. Now, how to find out which poles represents what sequence, means causal or anti-causal. So for that, you have to imagine one contour, a closed contour within the region of ROC, and it is a closed contour. Imagine a contour, closed contour. I have written imagine a closed contour, okay, C, let us say, and it is inside the ROC. Now next thing you have to see that whether this pole exists within this contour or outside the contour. So this contour is there, and you see that these two poles 0.5 and 1 are existing inside the contour. Contour is a circle. Within that circle of contour, it is exists. So both the poles correspond to that sequence, causal sequence, according to the this two-part partial fraction 2 by 1 minus z inverse minus 1 by 1.5 z inverse. So that represents alpha to the power n un, okay, in both the case. Now second case is mod z is less than 0.5. This is the ROC. Since it shows the interior of a circle less than some value, so that means the ROC is, you see, it is a circle of radius 0.5. We have shaded this region. Okay. Now imagine that, and this shaded region is not touching that 0.5 point. तो क्या है, उस अभी फिर से वही इमेजिन करना है. There is one circle, there is one contour within this ROC. Now you have to see whether those two poles are lying outside the contour or not. So you can see those two poles 0.5 and 1 are lying outside the contour. So that means both the poles represents anti-causal sequence. So according to the formula of anti-causal sequence, it is minus alpha to the power n un minus 1, u minus n minus 1. And for this, so it becomes 1 to the power n u of minus n minus 1 and 0.5 to the power n u of minus n minus 1. Now case 3. Case 3 is the ROC is in the within the two circle 0.5 and 1, that is the shaded region. And imagine one ROC, imagine one contour is there, circle is there, okay, in between, within the ROC. Now you check which poles are lying inside that contour and which poles lying outside the contour. Can anybody tell which pole lies inside the contour for the third case? Abhinav,
Yes, sir.
can you tell which pole lies inside the circle in the graph?
0.5, sir.
Yes. And which pole lies outside the contour? Hmm?
The one, sir.
1, yes. So for that, you see that now you can easily represent the sequence. Okay. So the pole 1 is outside the contour, so it should be multiplied with u to the u of minus n minus 1 and obviously 1 to the power n. Okay, so it becomes minus 2 1 to the power n u of minus n minus 1. And another pole that is 0.5, it is lies within that contour, so it represents a causal sequence. So it is simply alpha to the power n un or 0.5 to the power n un. I have written there in the right side. Okay. So now you have understood how to find out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now accordingly you make the a program that you can see. I have yeah, I have uploaded in the year also that thing also in your team also in the program. Okay. The condition is same. That time it was not coming because we have variable. Okay, we have not changed the variable. Now it is t. So if you run this, okay, so let us take one input, one, okay, and enter the positions of the origin. Let us say positions is at the first year. This thing. So this is one part, that is Z transform is calculated, and the second part, that is inverse Z transform, okay, of this example, okay, is calculated. And for ROC this point mod Z greater than 1, this is your signal, okay, and ROC, the IZ for ROC for this is this signal. You see it is u of minus n minus 1, okay, then this one. So you just go through the program of this and you will understand easily. So this was the thing that I wanted to discuss. It was not been possible in the lab time because it was long. So now I close this. Okay, and coming back to the coming back to your our original theory class. So we have discussed the FFT algorithm. Okay. So I have told you to go through the DIF algorithm. Distribution in time we have seen. Distribution in frequency. You just go through this analysis, mathematical analysis, and you will find this kind of butterfly structures are there. Okay, butterfly structures you will get it here, and this is for DIF algo. Okay, decimation in frequency, and decimation was time. Diagram is this one. Now, what is the comparison between these two is written here. The comparison between decimation in time and decimation in frequency. So in decimation in time, input is bit reversed and output is in natural order. And in DIF, these are opposite. Okay, these are opposite because you can see that in time domain, okay, in DIF, it is not changing normal order. But in output, that is FFT output, it is in bit reverse order. That is 0, 4, 2, 6. Okay. Then in DIF butterfly is slightly different from the DIT, wherein complex multiplication takes place after add subtract operation. So that means here multiplication with W80, that is the complex multiplication. Okay, this is not this is done after subtraction. Okay, after subtraction or addition of this and this results, and it's multiplied with this. But earlier in that case, this was different. This is opposite. It takes place before the add subtract operations, and both require n log 2n operations to compute DFT. Okay, this order of the complexity is n log 2n that we discussed in the this part. Okay, this part. Okay, how it is coming n log 2n. Okay, n log 2n. Now one problem I am giving you, find the DFT of xn, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1 using DIT, DF, DIF algo. So this type of question means you have to find FFT, okay, fast Fourier transform, okay, of both of this sequence. Both the DIT and DIF algorithm should be used, and this is a task, okay, that is given to you, and you have to show me then on Monday. Okay, you have to upload this task, this answer. After solving, you have to upload this by Monday. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll not listen to any excuse. You have to submit it before the starting of the class. I will see that you have uploaded the answers. Those who will upload will get the credit, and those who will not upload will lose marks. So this is the input sequence xn 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both calculation, all calculations. It is not that you will do all the mathematical these things. You just have to draw this diagram. Okay, this diagram only. This is the diagram for DIF. Okay, and you have to calculate these values x0, x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6, x7. Okay, using this diagram. And for DIF, you have to calculate this one. So for that, you need to calculate W80, W81, W82, W83 for all cases, and put the values x0, x1, x2, x3, this one, these things in the time sequence, and multiply, add, and then you get the result. Understood? Is it clear how to solve the program? How to solve the problem? Just draw the diagram. All of you. Are you listening? Okay, so I hope you have understood it. You are hesitating to respond. It is very bad. So now we go to the next topic, next part. And this is the last PPT file for the first module. Okay. So here we will see inverse system. Is my slide visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first module, the topics that we'll discuss here, inverse system, deconvolution, and frequency selective filters. So here we will use all these concepts of convolution, impulse response, convolution, jet transform. Okay, all these concepts will be used here. So what do you mean by it is taken from the book of this Toekis. Okay. You can see it is written that in many practical applications, we are given an output signal from a system whose characteristics are unknown, and we are asked to determine the input signal. Okay? That is the main important line. Okay, that in many practical applications, we are given an output signal whose characteristics are unknown, and we are asked to determine the input signal. आउटपुट दिया हुआ है, इनपुट को फाइंड करने के लिए बोला जाएगा. So for example, in the transmission of digital information at high rate data rates over telephone channels, it is well known that the channel distorts the signal and causes inter-symbol interference among the data symbols. The inter-symbol interference may cause errors when we attempt to recover the data. In such a case, the problem is to design a corrective system which, when cascaded with the channel, produces an output that in some sense corrects for the distortion caused by the channel and thus yields a replica of the desired transmitted signal. So that tells that suppose we transmit one signal over a channel. Okay, actually channel behavior is unknown. And there are some factors that causes errors, during the transmission of the data. So what happens? if you when you will reconstruct the data, okay, that actually was transmitted, it will not match, will not able to reconstruct it properly, okay, because of the internal error within a channel exists that cause some this does change the or causes some distortion. So some effect within the channel is there which is unknown, and if you want to remove the effect, okay, if you want to uh, means say if you want to get the actual or pure original data, okay, then you have to pass that signal through a system which will rectify or which will rectify or which will remove the errors that is caused during the transmission of the data in that channel. So that type of system which actually takes some, which does some corrective actions, okay, that is called equalizer. So any unknown effect that is nullified, okay, or removed, unknown phenomena, unknown effect that causes some disturbance, it is nullified by one system that is called equalizer. Okay. So and that corrective system is actually called inverse system. Okay. So inverse system actually, uh, if you consider the frequency response, okay, what type of problem occurs when it propagates through a channel, okay, actually some frequency characteristics gets changed. So uh, so those frequency characteristics should be rectified, okay, and suppose it is one system is there that is causing some disturbance, you pass the data, okay, of the output data to another system which is called inverse system, okay, inverse of the system that, or you can say, that has the characteristics, the inverse of the characteristics of the system, so that its frequency response gets modified and you will get the actual frequency response. Okay. So that is called the corrective system or inverse system. So you can see it is written that the distortive system yields an output that is the convolution of the input xn with the impulse response hn, and the inverse system operation that takes yn, okay, and produces xn is called deconvolution. So deconvolution produces the output, okay, that is opposite of convolution. Okay. So convolution provides the output in terms of the convolution between the input xn and the impulse response hn. The deconvolution is actually produces the input from the convolution or in or deconvolution between yn and another impulse response, okay, or inverse of hn, you can say. So yn is equal to generally xn convolution hn. So xn will be what? Xn will be hn convolution with 1 of h of n, you can say. 1 by h of n. So that is actually deconvolution, opposite of convolution. So you just go through this notes that if the characteristics of the distortive system is unknown, it is often necessary uh, to excite the system with a known signal, observe the output, compare it with the input, and in some manner determine the characteristics of the system. Now here, just go through this line, and I am not reading out. The process of the last line, you see it is underlined, the process of determining the characteristics of the unknown system, either Hn or H omega. Hn is the time domain, H omega is the frequency domain. By a set of measurements performed on the system is called system identification. Okay. System identification is what? The process of determining the characteristics of the unknown system, okay, by a set of measurements. Now, what do we mean by invertibility of linear time invariant system? A system is said to be invertible. That means its inverse exists. Inverse of the system exists if there is one-to-one correspondence between its input and output signal. This definition implies that if we know the output sequence y of n of an invertible system tau, okay, we can uniquely determine its input xn. So the inverse system with input yn and output xn is denoted by tau inverse. Okay, clearly the cascade connection of a system and its inverse is equivalent to the identity system. So suppose we are having one output yn, y of n, and we apply and we pass the output to an inverse system, to a system which is having the characteristics of the system from where it is having the characteristics inverse of the system from where the output is coming. So yn was coming from the one system, okay, which was operator tau applied on input xn. Okay, yn, you can see y of n is obtained from by passing the input xn through a system tau. Okay. Now we pass that yn to a inverse of that tau, the system having characteristics tau, that is called tau inverse. You will get the output x of n of the inverse system. So दोनों एक ही सिग्नल, इनपुट सिग्नल दोनों सिस्टम में पास कर रहा है, फाइनली वही आउटपुट मिल रहा है, सेम इनपुट जो है वही आउटपुट के फॉर्म में आ रहा है, क्योंकि हमको रेक्टिफाई करना है, करेक्ट करना है, जो कॉज जो एरर हुआ था चैनल के थ्रू या कोई सिस्टम के थ्रू जाने के टाइम, उसको हमको रिमूव करना है. तो इनवर्स, उसका इनवर्स कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स का डिजाइन करके एक सिस्टम, इनवर्स कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स एज्यूम करके एक सिस्टम बनाना है. तो ये आप पे दिखा है, देखो क्या लिखा हुआ है. सपोज वी पास दिस xn to a system having operator tau, then yn we are getting. Now if you pass this yn to the opposite characteristics of that one, then you will be able to get the inverse of that, tau inverse. So that produces output xn, that is which is equal to the input, actual input. So actually you have to know the some characteristics of the previous system. Then only you will be able to get the inverse of that. Okay. And once you pass the output to that inverse system, your pure data you will get the pure data or pure input. So this is written there that suppose uh, the hn is the transfer function of the previous stage, that is direct system, and we pass it. We hn, okay, and input is xn, so its output is yn, whose convolution is, it is coming from convolution between xn and hn. Now we pass this yn to a system which is having the impulse response, that is hin, that is inverse of hn, inverse of hn करके एक एज्यूम कर लेते हैं. तो ये अगर पास करेंगे तो आउटपुट में हमको इनपुट मिल जाएगा. अगर ये नहीं करते तो हमको इनपुट उतना एक्यूरेट नहीं मिलता था. ये करेंगे तो इनपुट हम लोग एक्यूरेटली डिटरमाइन कर पाएंगे. तो इसलिए इसका आइडिया होना बहुत जरूरी है. hn को जानना बहुत जरूरी है. Then you will be able to get h inverse of hn. अच्छा अभी देखो, अभी अगर ये है तो अकॉर्डिंग टू जो कॉन्वोल्यूशन, ये इक्वेशन है wn इज इक्वल टू hin कॉन्वोल्यूशन hn xn. सो कॉन्वोल्यूशन में कौन सा चीज ऐसा है जिसके साथ xn को इनपुट को कॉन्वोल्यूशन करेंगे तो इनपुट वही इनपुट मिलेगा. कौन सा सिग्नल ऐसा है, कोई बता सकता है कि कौन सा ऐसा फंक्शन है जिसके साथ कोई भी सिग्नल कन्वोल्यूशन करेंगे तो वही सिग्नल मिलता है? कोई ऐसा सिग्नल है? कोई बता सकते हो? कैन एनीबॉडी टेल? अंकिता, सिग्नल को अगर इम्पल्स फंक्शन डेल्टा एन के साथ कन्वोल्यूशन करोगे तो वही मिलता है. xn को अगर डेल्टा एन के साथ कन्वोल्यूशन करोगे तो xn ही मिलेगा. तो ये बेसिक लॉ है, बेसिक रूल, फंडामेंटल रूल. तो इस जो इक्वेशन नंबर है 5.5.2, इसमें तीन टर्म है hin, hn एंड xn. ये it will be equal to xn when hin, hn, their convolution produce delta n. डेल्टा n अगर है तभी ये पॉसिबल है. तो hn और hin मतलब ये डेल्टा n है, that is actually impulse at n is equal to 0. So that means it represents one unity. Okay, unity value or unity matrix, you can say. Identity matrix, you can say. So अगर ये है hn कन्वोल्यूशन hin डेल्टा n, इसका जेड ट्रांसफॉर्म कर दो. जो जेड ट्रांसफॉर्म करने से क्या होगा, वो मल्टीप्लाई हो जाएगा. कन्वोल्यूशंस in z domain it is multiplication. Convolution in time domain represent multiplication is z domain. So from the previous equation hn convolution hin, ये z डोमेन में मल्टीप्लाई हो जाएगा hz इंटू hiz. सो इसका मीनिंग है. और डेल्टा n का जेड ट्रांसफॉर्म क्या है? डेल्टा n का जेड ट्रांसफॉर्म है समेशन xn z to the power minus n is equal to minus infinity to infinity. लेकिन ये एग्जिस्ट करते हैं ओनली एट n इज इक्वल टू 0। सो एक ही वैल्यू है और इसका मैग्नीट्यूड 1 है। सो z इज n इज इक्वल टू 0, मतलब z टू द पावर 0 1 हो गया, मैग्नीट्यूड भी 1 है। सो ये 1 हो गया। सो hz, so we can say that hz into hij is equal to 1. So what is hij? hij is the 1 upon hz, that is inverse of the your original system transfer function that causes error. Okay, that causes error. That is the important thing. That is not the transfer function of overall system. Actually, it is the impulse response of the part that causes the error. Okay. So इसमें क्या होगा, अब hz अगर रैशनल कोई वैल्यू है, रेशियो है न्यूमरेटर बाय डिनोमिनेटर, जैसे आज हम लोग hz ट्रांसफॉर्म देख रहे थे, तो hz अगर bz बाय az है तो a उसका ऑपोजिट हो जाएगा az बाय bz। सिंपल है, az बाय bz। तो जो अगर bz बाय az पता है तो az बाय bz पता चल जाएगा। तो यहाँ पे हम लोग एक यहाँ पे लिखा है देखो। सो thus the zeros of hz become the poles of the inverse system and vice versa. So poles न्यूमरेटर में है और नहीं, जीरोस न्यूमरेटर में है और डिनोमिनेटर में पोल है। तो अब न्यूमरेटर डिनोमिनेटर एक्सचेंज हो गया, मतलब पोल जीरो एक्सचेंज हो गया। जहाँ पे पोल था वो जीरो हो गया, जहाँ पे जीरो था वो पोल हो गया। ठीक है, अभी देखो, furthermore if hz is an FIR system, the HIZ is an all pole system. FIR सिस्टम में हमेशा पोल जीरो रहता है, क्योंकि FIR में क्या है, FIR में सिर्फ आउटपुट का फीडबैक है, yn -1 yn -2। सो वहाँ पे हमेशा पोल रहता है। ये क्या रहेगा, HZ में FIR में क्या होता है, सिर्फ वन साइडेड, मतलब एक सेन present input are considered. So yn plus yn minus 1 yn minus like that is equal to x of n. So इसका z ट्रांसफॉर्म लोगे तो yz ब्रैकेट में आएगा 1 plus z inverse plus z to the power minus 2 kind of thing, and that is equal to xz. So yz by xz क्या होगा, that is 1 by 1 plus z inverse. So यहाँ पे सिर्फ जीरोस रहता है और जीरोस कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा। यहाँ पे देखो क्या लिखा हुआ है, FIR सिस्टम में ट्रांसफर फंक्शन hz इज इन द फॉर्म ऑफ 1 प्लस z इनवर्स z टू द पावर माइनस 2 काइंड ऑफ थिंग, और इसका पोल्स जीरोस R1 R2 R3 पोजीशन में है। तो इसका ऑपोजिट कर देंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा, 1 बाई जेड माइनस R1 z माइनस R2 इस फॉर्म में आएगा। तो ये पोल में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा। अच्छा, अभी यहाँ तक स्टॉप करते हैं, फिर तुम लोगों का नेक्स्ट क्लास है, इसके बाद इसका आगे का देखेंगे। ठीक है, यू मे लीव नाउ, और इफ यू हैव एनीथिंग टू आस्क देन यू कैन आस्क नाउ, and by Monday I am to see the this task solved. You should upload your answer.